irregularity. Following the disruption of the ballot sorting, which led to the destruction of some ballot papers, the Electoral Commission has declared the Monday voting as null and void. The EC has therefore referred the decision to the New Patriotic Party to take a decision on the way forward, since it was an internal party event to select a nominee to contest the December parliamentary election on the ticket of the party. The party will now have to take a decision to fix a new date for the election to be held immediately before the filing of nominations for the December 2024 parliamentary election in the Waliwali constituency closes by the end of the week. Still on this beat, meanwhile, Dr. Tia Kabiru, the aspirant who won the first primaries, has expressed his disappointment with the handling of the election, questioning the democratic process within the NPP. According to him, the violence that characterized the counting process does not speak well of the NPP, and the party should ensure that the culprits are apprehended and dealt with.
Very pathetic situation. Okay. We pride ourselves in democracy. We always claim and boast of saying that we are the beacon of democracy. We are the pace setters, the basis, the foundation upon which liberal democracy is founded. The NPP prides itself in that. A democratic process has been organized. Sorting was done. Someone out of fear, knowing very that there is imminent defeat, has decided to disrupt the process. We know the person. I have raised issue this morning. You remember the confusion, the chaotic situation that visited the accreditation. The same person. So if someone tells me he doesn't know that person, I'm afraid. If you tell me you don't know this person, he's been arrested. The former constituency chairman for Yagaba Kubori.
His name?
Akamara Bawa. You tell me you don't know him, you don't know someone who has been on campaign platform campaigning for the MP. Such a person has abused the processes, disrupted these processes. I just hope the police will be able to take his course. The ballot, I'm told, is secured. It will be counted. They must count it. And I have absolute no doubt that when it's counted, the winner, the voices of the people, the people's favorite will be declared. This is my statement for them. But look, I have raised issue about this personality. I have had cause to go in and alert them. They should turn him out. He has no business in that particular process. Several complaints have been laid to them in respect of this particular gentleman. We have seen the end result of it. He's been sent to Bolga. Let's hope the police take his action. But you see, this election has been won. It was won on the 27th January 2024. The verdict was a stolen verdict from the court. I did not run away from the process. I participated. My fidelity to the process was utmost. Even though I did not run from the process, people thought that the will of the people would be subverted. It did not. Now, that's the outcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Still on elections, the opposition National Democratic Congress has announced plans to hold nationwide protests on September 17, 2024 in protest of what they describe as the Electoral Commission's mishandling of irregularities found in the voter register. The party's concerns arose during the recent voter exhibition exercise, where they claim to have identified numerous discrepancies. After meeting with the EC to address these issues, the NDC requested a forensic audit of the register, but this request was rejected. NDC Chairman Johnson Esiedun Ketia, speaking to the media after submitting John Mahama's presidential nomination forms, revealed that the party would stage nationwide protests. The flag bearer of the party, John Mahama, also added his voice, encouraging party supporters to go to their district offices to demonstrate on September 17th.
Enumerate here, and you, the media people, were with some of our people who intercepted and retrieved one of the stolen BVDs. So far, we don't have any response. We don't have any feedback as to how the progress is being made on the case involving those who allegedly have been arrested here at your commission and so on. This all generates some amount of, cloud suspicion and all that. And so, those of you who have been asking us, if they don't comply, what will you do? This is your answer. On the 17th of this month, the NDC is embarking on a massive nationwide demonstration in all 16 regional capitals. Descend on the Electoral Commission offices, and we in Accra will descend to the headquarters and present further petitions as to what
voters register no buy, you know. You may be atosi our register no. Na say person about one eko ye na asumdwe etra Ghana na e was election commission sorry eye omodwuma ye e was omohwe sa register ni ye na enyoma enye e wo register no mu omohwe no mu siesie ntem ansani ato aba nti NDC de ye chairman ene wa announce say ye beye oye kire Bebia Electoral Commission office will be a district office. Sa Krodiano NDC for Sa Danu ya besha entadie na ya demonstration akoho. Say ye chiro madrin say register no omo sorry enya hu bibi. Until on the 17th of this month, NDC is going to demonstrate in every town that has an EC office. Our chairman has announced it. NDC, you wear your t-shirt and you go and demonstrate to the EC office so that we can put pressure on them to do their job and do what they have to do in order to ensure peaceful and transparent elections.
Still on the voter register irregularities, the Movement for Change has promised that it will ensure the EC presents a credible voter register for the 2024 elections. This is according to a member of the communications team of the Movement for Change, Solomon Owusu. Speaking on ABC News Ghana, he assured the public that the Movement for Change will hold the EC into account and ensure it presents a credible register devoid of any irregularities.
What happened in the Tamale Central and San Ribu, where 38 people were transferred to Pusiga, has not been replicated across the length and breadth of this world, or this country, let me put it that way. And so, if they were able to sit down for this crime to happen, then there is no basis whatsoever that anybody would take their utterances very serious. Mind you, this is an electoral commission that was in the custody, that had in its custody the biometric verification devices that is manned with a CCTV camera, but yet 5 of it were stolen. When they were asked, their initial reaction was that it was never true. They came back to accept that indeed it was true. So it's not a commission that can be left alone to do this on its own, because they are proven daily that they are not in to organize a free and fair election.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission pledged to conduct peaceful and transparent elections on December 7, 2024. This follows the Commission's opening of filing of nominations for both presidential and parliamentary candidates on Monday, September 9, 2024. The EC received 8 presidential nominations at its headquarters on the first day of the process. Addressing a delegation from the NPP led by its flag bearer Dr. Muhammad Dubomia and running mate Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, the Commissioner Jane Mensah said the EC was prepared to deliver credible and fair elections.
The guiding principle for both teams is clear. They are to operate within the confines of the law. They are not to exercise discretion in the matter. Above all, they have been tasked to be fair and yet firm in executing their duties. We have no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that the process will be transparent, fair, and peaceful. Additionally, we are confident that the 5-day period provided for the filing process, as opposed to the 2-day process, prior to 2020 will allow enough time for presidential candidates to correct errors identified in their forms. We are confident that this will eliminate the tensions and rancor that characterized the filing process prior to the 2020 election.
Moving on, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has expressed confidence in his administration's credibility compared to that of former President John Dramani Mahama, especially regarding corruption accusations. Addressing members at the Ghana Bar Association conference in Kumasi on Monday, 9 September, Akufo-Addo claimed that corruption allegations against him and his government are part of a politically motivated campaign orchestrated by the National Democratic Congress flag bearer John Mahama. He insists that the constant claims that he clears his associates or appointees of corruption allegations will not hold, while referencing the high-profile Airbus case in which Mr. Mahama was named as government official 1.
I'm aware that there's a deliberate, politically motivated effort to stigmatize my government, my family, and myself as corrupt. I suspect, as payback for the damaging allegations of corruption leveled against members of the erstwhile Mahama administration, some of which have led to criminal convictions and others are still being prosecuted in court. In spite of scrutiny by credible public institutions of virtually all these allegations of misconduct on the part of my government, my family, and myself, which have been found to be baseless, the leader of the opposition, the perennial NDC presidential candidate, continues to describe me as a clearing agent. It is important that I reiterate that I will not abandon under any circumstance recourse to due process in the fight against corruption. Be that as it may, in any event, I will leave it to the Ghanaian public and people. I will leave to the judgment of the Ghanaian public and people to decide whether it is preferable to be a clearing agent or government official 1.
Meanwhile, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has addressed growing calls for the free senior high school policy to be revised. According to him, families who can afford private school fees should consider enrolling their wards in private institutions. Speaking at the 2024-2025 Annual General Conference of the Ghana Bar Association in Kumasi, President Akufo-Addo stated that public schools funded by taxpayers must remain free for all. He maintained that the policy's core objective is to ensure access to quality education for every Ghanaian child, regardless of economic background.
People who can afford to pay fees for the education of their wards should send them to fee-paying private schools. Public schools, that is, schools funded by the taxpayer, should be free to all who would otherwise be unable to pay for their education. That is why the numbers of pupils who have access to secondary education has doubled since the introduction of the free senior high school policy. And that over 5.7 million persons have benefited from the policy since its inception. The full impact of this dramatic development will be felt in due course and will far outweigh the small number of privileged parents who can afford to pay for the education of their wards.
Away from that, Attorney General and Minister for Justice Godfred Yeboah-Dame has disclosed that over 850 individuals are currently facing prosecution for their alleged involvement in illegal mining, commonly known as galamsey. This comes amidst growing concerns over the devastating impact of Galamsey on the country's water bodies and forest reserves. Speaking at the 2024-2025 Annual General Conference of the Ghana Bar Association, Yabua Adame revealed that 140 cases of illegal mining are being investigated across 5 regions: Western, Eastern, Ashanti, Greater and Upper East.
Illegal mining, Galamsey, continues to cause incalculable damage to our forest reserves and water bodies. In the teeth of the difficulties prosecutors encounter in the court in the prosecution of illegal mining offences, the criminal division has enjoyed some success, even though there is still room for more to be done. From August 2021 to date, at least 76 persons, including 18 foreigners, have been convicted. They include the acclaimed Chinese Galamsey Queen, Aisha Huan, who was convicted on 4th December 2023 of offences committed between 2014 and 2016 in the era of the previous government. Most of the convicts were sentenced under the new law at 995 to a minimum of 15 years plus a hefty fine for a non-Ghanaian. Currently, over 140, minimum of 15 years plus a heavy fine in the case of a Ghanaian, and a minimum of 20 years plus a fine for a non-Ghanaian. Currently, over 140 cases of illegal mining involving over 850 accused persons are being prosecuted in court in the Western, Eastern, Ashanti, Greater and Upper East regions of Ghana.
And these are the main stories for today. I am Jennifer Sumwa. Up next is ABC in the Morning. Stay tuned.
GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024. We're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_.
Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the third season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054-955-4148 to register. Best Inventor.
ABC in the morning. This happens to be your go-to. We're going to kick off for a thought for today. And, today, the thought we're using to run through our day is basically that the best way to predict the future is to create it. Sometimes you're thinking, how do I have the perfect future? How do I craft it? I want my future to be, blissful. Well, the best way to actually predict it is to create it. So basically, start putting into practice what you want to see. If you want to be a millionaire in future, then you have to start saving, start making wise investment decisions. Those are the key things that matter. So find the steps you need to put in order to be able to create the type of future that you want. We want you to carry that thought along with you for today so that you'll be able to make the best informed decisions. Now, we'll be going straight into our front story where we'll be looking at how we're going to reclaim our destroyed lands. Yesterday, we're keen on Galamsey and its effect here, on the lands that we have and the rivers. And also, we're looking at treating the polluted waters. We're bringing you the fact to be speaking to the experts and also being able to look at, the effects, the impacts of heavy metals when it comes to our water bodies here in Ghana. We're also on Ghana Speaks. My colleague Samuel definitely, yesterday, like he did, he's headed to another constituency. Today, he's going to Lojukuku and he's going to bring you the assessment of the constituents on the performance of their MP. And in Business Fix, I'll now be exploring the strength of the local currency as we approach the election season and the festive period. Also on politics today, we'll be looking at all matters arising regarding the PNC election. If you've been following, there are a lot of issues happening there. Also, just, in the same light of politics, that there's some key, I wouldn't say conflict, but there's unrest. There's a lot of unrest happening in Wale Wale regarding the NPP primaries. And the EC has actually, declared it's null and void because yesterday there were some key issues. But I'll bring you updates, all of that here on ABC in the morning. I'm Epiphania Chokotugligui. Don't forget you can join the conversation on our social media handles, Twitter, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, everywhere, ABC News GH_. today focuses on one of the most pressing and environmental public health challenges that Ghana is facing. Basically, we're looking at the cost of reclaiming our destroyed lands and, treating our water bodies. Illegal mining, or what people are, normally used to calling it as galamsey, has left what we call a devastating mark on our rivers, our lands, and is threatening not only our ecosystems, but the health of our communities. Well, following that, we'll be heading to the Western region later, where our reporter Jacob Ba is standing by to actually give us, the current state of the River Pra. He's actually standing at the river's bank. We'll also be joined by, we're joined by Professor Francis Hashford. He's the Director of Radiological and Medical Sciences Research Institute at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. And we're basically going to discuss the dangers of heavy metals in our water and the impact on public health. So we know there's a critical issue, but the key question remains, how much will it cost us to fix the damage, and how do we prevent further devastation? Stay tuned. Now, I mentioned earlier that we're being joined via Zoom by Professor Hansford. Welcome, Prof. Good morning. Okay, first, before we go to Prof, let's head straight to Jacob, who is currently at the banks of the River Pra, to actually give us the current state of the river. Good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, Jacob. So tell us, what's the current state of the river?
All right. So currently, I'm on the River Pra, and some of the community members here are helping me navigate through the water. And I would say the state of the water is not in a good condition, or is in a bad state, since you can't see anything even beneath the water. It's all brown. You could see that the galamsey activities along the banks of the river is causing a huge harm here. Most of these community members can't even fish in the river, since it's part of their economic activity. Some of the communities along this river is from Daboase up to Shama. We have communities like Obuase. We have Obuase, we have Ahmiaso, we have Bipos, we have Dupoa, Chechire, Takwa, and all those communities along the banks of this river. You could see that this river is actually suffering. If it's a human being, it's not happy. Let's say the gods are not happy with whatever is going on in this river. And most of the community members are also crying for the government to come to their aid, since they use this as their source of economic activity. Most of them are fishermen, and they fish in this river. Some also use this river to transport their goods from one location to another. Today is a market day at Bipos, and there are a lot of market women along this bank trying to navigate their way through Bipos to come and sell their produce. So this is the current state of the Pra River in the Western region.
Well, that definitely is a lot, but I want to find out, Jacob, you've made mention of the fact that, the residents there are not happy. Have you, in your engagement with them, found out about any health-related issues?
Yes, they've actually said some. They said most of it's also their source of drinking water here, and they can't have proper drinking water here, since they rely on the water body here. And most of them are complaining about stomach upset. Some are also saying most of their market or the pregnant women, they usually give birth to deformed babies, because they know, or they can feel that there are a lot of chemicals in these water bodies, of which is causing harm to them in their community.
Wow. Well, we're definitely here addressing the issue. We're looking at how to get the right authorities to be able to look at it. But I want to find out, Jacob, do they have hope? Do they believe that the issue can actually, be solved? Do they see hope? Do they see the river returning to its former glory?
Yes, they do. And to me, when I even came here, they thought I'm part of I'm part of a task force who is coming to help them, show me where the activities of galamsey is being done along the bank. So they hope and they are praying that the government will come to their aid, and they know for sure the river will come to its original state. I grew up in Takoradi in the Western region, And every time I use this river, I know how it is. I know how it feels to be part of this economic crisis that they are facing here.
Wow. Well, we definitely want that hope not to be relinquished. We actually want to see the hope manifest into a reality as they're holding straight onto it. But I want to find out, have you been able to engage with the chiefs and what did they have to say?
With the chiefs, I've not been able to engage with them, but as subsequent days coming ahead, I'll try my possible best to get them on board. Then I'll hear from them. After here, I'll be having an interview with the communities as well to know where and what they want the government to do for them concerning this issue. So subsequent days, I'll give you the feedback concerning the Galamsey operation on the River Pra.
Definitely, thank you so much. Well, that was my colleague. He's actually a reporter, Jacob Bine. He is reporting live from the River Pra. As you can see, the river is not in a good state, and he's also made mention of the fact that most of the residents are complaining. I mean, they complain of stomach upsets, and for pregnant women, those who actually, rely on the water for their daily livelihood activities, they end up having children that are actually deformed, and this is due to the presence of heavy metals and other, toxic chemicals that have been put in the water by those who engaged in the illegal mining. I made mention earlier that we actually have Professor Hansford, and he has joined us via Zoom. We actually want to go straight and look at, the effects of these heavy metals and also basically how this is environmentally affecting the quality of living. Good morning, Prof. You're welcome to ABC in the morning. Well, we'll definitely be joined by Prof, and we'll definitely go straight to bringing you the details that you need. But before that, let's take a look at some graphics. Let's take a look at some of the rivers that have been polluted by Galamsey activities. I think people just think, oh, it's just River Pra, River Dainsu, just one or two rivers, but it goes just beyond one or two rivers. So let's just take a look at the list of rivers that have actually been polluted by Galamsey activities. River, we have Enu River, we have the Odan River, we also have the River Ofing, we also have River Pra. Actually, that was where Jacob just reported from. We also saw the state of the river, not encouraging at all. We have the Afram River, we have the River Owabi, we have River Fum, we have Subing River, we also have Agogo River, we have Jimmy River, and all this, the ones that I just mentioned, these are 10, and they're all coming straight from the Ashanti region. Now, moving to the Western region, you realize that we have River Pra, we have the Daboase River, we have the River Ankobra, and these are the three rivers that have actually been polluted badly by Galamsey activities in the Western region. Moving away to the Eastern region, we have the Birim River, we also have the Suboni River, and these are the two rivers in Eastern region that have actually been affected by Galamsey activities in the Eastern region. Now, coming to Greater Accra, we have the Dainsu River, and for Upper West, we have the Black Volta. If you can see on your screen, you realize that this is more like the before, and I wouldn't say before and after, but then it's more like, yes, before and after. So before, this is what the river looked like, and this is a beautiful sight to behold. Now, after, look at the state of the river, look at the color of the water. There's such a huge difference. There's such a huge difference. The beauty has just disappeared. The beauty is gone. You can't take a picture of this and then expect someone to be attracted to this. It just looks like a long stretch of a muddy pile. We've lost the clean river that we actually had. So as you can see on your screens, for Greater Accra we had the River Dainsu, and then for Upper West we had the Black Volta as part of the rivers that have been polluted by Galamsey activities. Also for Bono East we had the Tano River. Now, if you put this all together, you realize that basically we have about 18 different water bodies that have been polluted here in Ghana, all by the Galamsey activities. And this is, ranging from Ashanti, from Western to Eastern to Greater Accra, the Upper West, and also the Bono East. And you know, we took to social media yesterday saying that if you actually are living in a community that has been affected by, you know, Galamsey activities, get in touch. Let us know the state of the water body there. Send pictures, send videos, because everybody's talking about it, but we want to see. Sometimes it just comes down to the fact. Let the people see, as you saw this morning, the state of the River Pra, you know, and you're seeing on your screens before and after. There's no reason why we should move from this state and get to that state in the first place. We should be aiming to do better, and that's what we should be looking out for. But like I made mention, we will be speaking to Professor Hansford, and he would actually be enlightening us and letting us understand the impact of the presence of heavy metals. As Jacob also made mention about it, that he said that for the women that actually take the water, those who are, you know, in the communities that are dependent on the River Pra, the pregnant ones among them actually tend to give birth to deformed babies. And you know, here sometimes we don't even understand the effect of it. Someone is going to associate it or link it directly to, you know, probably some religious or traditional belief, but it's probably because of the actions of people which should not even have taken place in the first place. Now people are having deformed babies, and this is going to take a toll on them emotionally, mentally, because what did you do to have a deformed baby? But then this is because you're consuming water from a river that has been polluted. And we're all aware of the fact that these heavy metals, these toxic chemicals that are used when people are actually illegally engaging in mining activities in our river bodies and also in the forest reserves, these are not good for human consumption. But the people stay along the banks of the river. They are located within kilometers, within reach. So that basically their livelihoods depend on it. And Jacob made mention of the fact that they are not able to fish. How will the fishes survive in water like this? How do you even get fish? And that is affecting their cycle of living, because if the fisherman has to go and then fish from the river, bring it to the wife to go and sell it in the market so that they can get some money, be able to buy foodstuffs and bring home to eat, and now there's no fish, how is that cycle going to continue? Indirectly, we're actually affecting the livelihood of the people. Poverty. We're pushing people further into poverty. We're not actually helping them move out of it. Instead of developing the people, we're actually sending them further into a pit, which we are digging ourselves. And most importantly, should not even be the case. We've basically been hearing of, you know, some attempts and some things of government, different programs, or should I say agendas or movements they've put together, task force, different operations just to be able to address this issue. These are things that they've actually been doing. We looked at the cost that was involved when it comes to Operation Vanguard yesterday, and you realize that it wasn't a small cost. And then also in 2018, we had the Forestry Commission announcing that they had formed what they call the first Operation Halt Group, and this was also prevent illegal entry into the, you know, forest reserves. But when you have the legislative instrument 2462 that is actually given them permission to go and mine in forest reserves, you realize that forming such operation, putting money into it and those things, you're basically giving them the license to destroy your own land. You've given them the green card to do something that is going to cause you harm. So how then do you go back and then try and get them to stop, because you gave them the permission in the first place? And that was not the only operation that they actually put together. And also we looked at the fact that, you know, when you look at license for small scale mining, basically it's for a term of 5 years. So if you're like, okay, I want to engage in small scale mining, and then you go and then you want to get your license and everything, it's basically given to you for a duration of 5 years. And basically the 5 years is renewable, but then it is upon satisfactory performance, which is during the stipulated period. So during the 5 years in which you engage in your mining activities as, you know, an entity or a body or a corporation, basically they're checking your activities, checking your regulations. Are you following the stipulated regulations that they've outlined for you? basically Minerals Commission is ensuring that you go by all these things. So based on that, before your license is actually going to be renewed after the 5 years, that is basically what they're supposed to do. And you have Minerals Commission, you know, and then the Environmental Protection Agency being, these are the two core government institutions that are charged when it comes to permitting people to mine. They are the two core government entities, the Environmental Protection Agency and then the Minerals Commission. So basically they are going to approve, okay fine, this is an environmental permit for you. And that also basically includes a water use permit. But do they follow up and check all these things? That's some of the key things. And recently we've had a lot of, you know, people calling out for government to take the fight, you know, fighting Galamsey very seriously. And just today you have UTAG calling for a nationwide ban on Galamsey, and they're threatening a strike action. They're threatening a strike action because, like, they don't understand. They're calling for an immediate and complete ban on all forms of illegal mining. And they're not the only group. When it comes to, you know, Galamsey, general mining and forest reserves, the farms, the rivers, basically they are against it. They're calling for the government to immediately place a ban on it. And they actually issued their statement yesterday, and they've warned that if government does not impose a total ban on mining in all these areas by the end of the month, which is September, the whole of UTAG will embark on a nationwide strike, and they're doing this in collaboration with other labor unions. They've condemned government's previous efforts to combat Galamsey. Yes, I mean, everybody has seen that it's, as much as we've pumped a lot of money into it, it has not yielded any results at all. We've not really seen much. And, you know, Operation Vanguard, Operation Flash Out, for UTAG, they call it monumental failures, actually. So they said these state-led measures, according to the statement they actually released, these state-led measures have not only failed to curb the practice, but also have been marred by corruption and political interference. And I mean, these are key things. When it comes to political interference, yesterday we spoke about it. We actually had a land economist here. We had Professor Seth Isiam, and he was key about the fact that you have these strong political powers that are actually backing the issues. These strong political powers who are pushing the boys because they know the boys are hungry, and it's like hanging a carrot in front of a donkey to get to the market or the riverside, and that's what they're doing to them. So they're doing that and getting them to engage in the activities, and they're actually reaping the benefits of it. Well, we do be going straight to be talking to today. I don't intend to rant or just go a lot on the issue, because we want to look straight at the fact and then also address the environmental impact of these heavy metals. But then let's take a look again at the rivers that have actually been polluted due to illegal activities. So I already listed that we have about 18 rivers basically, and they span from the Ashanti region to Easting, Westing. We also have the Greater Accra region, we have Bono East, and we have Upper West region. And you can see that we have the Inu River, we have the Oda River, we have the River Fing, River Pra, Afram River, River Wabi, River Fum, Subin River, Agogo River, Jimmy River. These ones are in the Ashanti region. These are 10 separate, you know, water bodies that have been affected by Galamsey activities. We're joined by Professor Hansford. Good morning, sir. You're welcome to ABC in the morning.
Good morning. Pleasure to have me.
Definitely. We want to find out, sir, can you start by explaining what turbidity means and how it affects the quality of our water bodies?
All right, thank you, and good morning to all your viewers and your listeners. So when we talk about turbidity, the water turbidity, what we mean is that you are looking at the quality of the water. You know, water is supposed to be colorless, right? And it's supposed to have a very fine, what we call density, right? But turbidity is where you have it contaminated with so much sand such that it becomes thick, right? And its color changes. And what it means is that the quality of the water is being degraded, which makes it very harmful for human consumption and use. in our daily activities. So this is what we mean when we talk about turbidity. What essentially it's happening is that we are causing distraction to life that depend on such water bodies. And so this is what I can say about that.
Okay, so well, basically we understand, I mean, the NTU or the nephelometric turbidity unit basically is a standard that is used to measure turbidity. What would you say is the acceptable NTU standard when it comes to safe drinking water?
Okay, so the experts at Ghana Water Company have given us indications of the levels to which they should operate in, right? So what we know and what my research is based on, it has to do with the cancers that arise out of some of these activities, right? So, for example, if you talk about the quality of water or the environmental factors that will predispose anyone to such developing cancers, there are a number of factors that could arise when we talk about the health effects from such galamsey activities. One of it could be the environmental factors, pollution, destroying the water bodies, soaking the water bodies with what is called heavy metals. And these heavy metals will then increase the turbidity levels in addition to other factors, and therefore causing lots of harm to all those who consume such activities. And we know that studies have been done by the Pediatric Society of Ghana, by those in the health space, indicating that the activities of galamsey, and especially for people who live around these areas, have been recording issues with births of babies. Cancers are coming up now, and our studies that we are doing is showing us that people coming from these areas are really being affected. Maybe I'll go into the statistics when it comes to the cancers and the others, but these are things that are coming up, and we really need to take urgent look at and really put a halt to it before it kills all of us.
That's very true. Well, for those of you that are just joining us, we're actually speaking with Professor Francis Hansford. He's the Director of Radiological and Medical Sciences Research Institute at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. Now, moving on, you made mention of cancers, so we just want to take you straight there. What are the potential, like you've already mentioned that some of these issues are cancers, so I wanted to find out, because our colleague today reporting from River Pra had actually made mention of the fact that some of the pregnant women there actually end up giving birth to deformed babies.
Yes. All right. So there are a number of causes for cancers, right? What we term them as risk factors. So these are factors that will predispose anyone to developing cancers. There are some that are like existent and nothing can be done about it. For example, as a person ages, your system becomes weakened such that it is not able to fight against development of cancers, right? There's also the family history bit of it. What really is causing a lot of these cancers these days is what we call the lifestyle, like the lifestyle that we live, as well as issues of environmental activities. So the lifestyle activities could include smoking, excessive drinking, lack of physical activity. But then when it comes to the environmental factors, which really is one of the key things that we need to pay attention to, is where we are polluting our water bodies and the soil with what is called the heavy metals. And these heavy metals are elements that are poisonous to the body, right? If you take in heavy metals and exceed some limits, then you are poisoning the body, you are killing the body in a very fast pace, and you are predisposing the body to develop these cancers. The elements that we classify as heavy metals, we have mercury. Mercury is one of them. And these elements that I'm mentioning are the ones that are being used, heavily being used in galamsey activities. Mercury, cyanide, we have lead, and then we have arsenic. So, and these are the elements that are mostly being used for galamsey activities. And so as they are washed into our water bodies, and then they feed into the areas where we have our food baskets coming from. So when we grow these food substances, the water that is used to water these elements, they seep into the soil, and then so the food produce that comes from are all being contaminated. And that is how come when we eat such substances, then we are predisposing ourselves to developing cancers. And the statistics are there. The number of cancers that we are receiving in the hospitals, and those dying out of it is scary.
For the statistics, we've actually been speaking to Professor Francis Hansford. He happens to be the Director of Radiological and Medical Sciences Research Institute at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. You're still watching ABC in the morning. Let's go and take business fix. We'll be right back.
Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the 3rd season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054 955 4148 to register. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the 3rd season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054 955 4148 to register. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here.
You're still watching ABC in the morning. We're heading straight for Business Fix, and my colleague Abner is definitely ready to bring you the latest when it comes to the world of business. Hi, Abner.
Hello, Epiphania.
What's new in the world of business?
Well, today we are looking at assessing the strength of the local economy and the local currency, as we get into the Yuletide season and the elections. You remember that yesterday we looked at it from the angle of the banks. This time we want to look at it from the CD, how it affects us as people and what to expect as we enter the season. Well, so this is Business Fix on ABC in the morning. Today we are looking at assessing the local currency. Our currency has been playing a bit. We want to assess it and see what we should do, how we should prepare ourselves as we get into the elections and into the Yuletide season. And luckily for us, and so graciously, we have Professor Patrick Esuming, who is an economist and a lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, to help us look at this topic. Hello, Prof.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prof. Thank you for joining us on ABC in the morning.
It's my pleasure.
Prof, we are entering into the political season, the election season. In the same vein, that period is the Yuletide season. What should we expect of our currency? Is our currency going to be strong as we get into that season, or we are still going to see certain setbacks that our currency has been facing?
Well, I think we noticed that this year the currency has been very, very unstable. But there's been spikes. There have been periods where we see relatively high depreciation, and then it seems to stabilize a little bit and then picks off. I think currently we seem to be in the midst of one of those spikes where over a short period of time we see some heavy depreciation. But like you mentioned, I think there's some seasonality to how the currency behaves. The final quarter tends to be a little unstable. The final quarter and then the start of the first quarter, usually we see a little bit of instability there. That's the final quarter is because we are heavily import dependent economy, and we, when the Christmas is, the festivities are drawing near, we see a lot of businesses having to import, and sometimes that puts heavy pressure on the currency. But in the past few years, because we have been doing cocoa syndicated loans, usually we're able to get some dollar reserves that help to keep the currency in check. Usually by the start of the next year, then we see that the pressure begin to mount. But it looks like this year, there's some degree of uncertainty about whether we do the syndication or not. The Cocoa Board, the CEO was absolutely clear that we are not doing the syndication, which the finance minister came to contradict. But regardless, even if you do it, it seems like we will not get the quantity of dollars that we usually get. So you expect that the pressure will be there. And then this year also, we all know what has happened with cocoa production. The cocoa has not done well. The data that we have, we know that the cocoa production is low, and it's been a steady source of foreign exchange. So all of these add to the uncertainty. And not to forget that, like you mentioned, it's an election season, and that comes with uncertainty. There's always a wait-and-see attitude by investors. So they tend to pause on some investments. So all of these mean that we are likely to see some more growing pressure on the cedi as we enter the final quarter of the year.
So that means that our cedi cannot appreciate against the dollar. At the moment, we've hit 16. Does it look like the dollar is going to keep going up, and then we'll have to still catch up to the dollar?
Yeah, I think an expectation of cedi appreciation is a little misplaced. Okay. I don't think we should be expecting that the cedi will gain. It's a matter of, how quickly it will lose. And also, I think the dollar itself has been on a tear. The dollar has been extremely strong this year. So it's not just Ghana that has been feeling the after effect, except that because of our peculiar position and the structure of our economy, we tend to see more pressure on our currency because we are also extremely import dependent. So, yeah, I don't think we should be expecting that the cedi is going to gain. We just have to hope that it doesn't lose as much, as quickly as it has at some points of this year.
Okay. In not losing as much, what are some of the things we can do to mitigate the issue of us losing and losing and losing?
So, at the moment, I think our best option is a longer term fix.
Right.
But sometimes we can get some short term fixes, mostly in the form of inflows. But over the medium to long term, we know what we have to do is to find ways to cut imports, especially some of the things that we import, some food items that we import that it's obvious that we really shouldn't be importing. We should be able to produce them ourselves. But those things take a long time. And then the other thing is how the economy is excessively dependent on foreign financing, both official sources and the bilateral and private. So all of those, because we are so dependent on foreign financing, it means we have to spend a lot of time. We lose a lot of foreign currency by way of servicing our loans, as well as profitable foreign businesses repatriating their profits. Those are things that we can change in the short term. In the short term, the only thing that might help is when we get additional inflows. Like I think the last week also, we understand that the Parliament was trying to approve some loans or some funding from the World Bank. So when those things come, they tend to show up our reserves and help a little bit. But in the main, the sustainable solution will be medium to long term. It's not something that we can do in a matter of weeks or months.
Well, in looking at medium to long term, the Vice President has said that he will propose that we anchor the cedi to gold. This comes on the back of the DDEP and then the gold for oil that the Bank of Ghana has successfully implemented. So he's also looking at anchoring the cedi on gold. Will this be a good medium to long term effort that can stabilize our cedi?
I think, well, I mean, there's been a lot has been made about the gold for reserves and then gold for oil programs. I think perhaps maybe there's some merit, a lot more merit in the gold for reserves, the gold purchase program, than the gold for oil. I think the gold for oil, you really struggle to understand the mechanism that will bring us instability, because obviously it's made to look like it's a butter, but you need to find someone willing to take the gold and then supply the oil. Usually that will involve some additional cost, or some businessman has to take some margins. So I think, and it's been too opaque, it's very difficult to understand exactly what's happening. The gold purchase program has a little bit more promise because the Bank of Ghana is able to purchase the gold in cedis, and then when it sells it off, then we get the dollars. And then gold is a very important source of reserve, and also mostly over the longer term the price tend to appreciate. But I think we have to understand that the gold that we don't export, the gold that we buy, we are losing the export revenue. So it comes down to some balance. I think the argument that's made is that there are cases where we export the gold and the gold proceeds doesn't come back to Ghana. In that instance, then the gold purchase program will help stabilize the currency. But we can't mine gold in perpetuity. I think we also know the destruction that the mining is doing to our environment. So maybe for some time it may work, but I think, having a more diversified source of foreign exchange earning and then cutting some of the imported, especially food items that we can produce locally. I think that looks like a better solution. At the very least, it should be complemented with the Good for Reserve program.
Okay. But will we ever get to that point where we cut down on our importation?
I hope so. I mean, the policy and the action of government is crucial. So, you and I, when we earn and we go out to the marketplace, we are looking for the best and that fits our preferences. It's much more difficult for the government to control what we buy in the marketplace. But what the government can easily do is to say, if the government of Ghana is making a purchase with Ghanaian taxpayers' money, we are going to make a deliberate effort not to import, except when we absolutely have to, and that we are going to buy locally and use it to support local businesses. Don't forget, I think a year ago or so, when the former finance minister presented the budget, there was discussion about attempt to cut imported items, especially through the government purchases. We don't know how much that has happened, but I think those are the kind of commitment that we need to make. It should start with the government taking the lead. Can you imagine the impact it will have if, for instance, the president was driving a Kantanka vehicle? Many people will see that as, even if the president is buying it, it must be safe. Many people, the demonstrative effect cannot be underestimated. So we really need action from our public and the state and the next officials. And then when we do that, and we put in the right mechanisms and incentives, I'm sure it will happen. But at the moment, it's hard to see that happening because those measures are not being implemented.
Okay. Let's look at our businesses and the issues or the risks they face because of the volatility of our exchange rates. What can businessmen and businesswomen do to sort of manage the risk, to cushion themselves against the volatility? Because you speak to business owners and they complain about the upheavals, the surges that they are unable to stand against. What can they do to cushion themselves against the volatility of the exchange rate?
Well, I think, that the volatility is not something they can do anything about. I don't think that the government has also shown the ability to reduce the volatility. But as an individual business, one of the things you can do is, if you are sourcing input, for instance, and the opportunities to find domestic substitutes, you should explore it. If you are in the business of just importing, even if you are selling final goods and services, final goods in particular, it's an opportunity to explore domestic alternatives. Work with domestic suppliers, especially to try and improve their packaging and then also the quality. I think that will serve the business, but also serve the country. So I think those kind of measures will help. And also, if you have an opportunity to export anything, wherever you are importing from, if there's anything else that you can export, even if it's smaller volumes, you can do that, because then your export earnings will serve as a hedge against the currency volatility. But for bigger businesses, I think they can go to the forward market and then try and then hedge the risk. But for smaller businesses, I mean, that might be too expensive. So looking for domestic alternatives will be like a good solution.
Okay. So finally, before we leave you, as we enter into the Yuletide and into the election season, are there some specific sectors that we should look at, sectors that are more vulnerable to the issues of exchange rates, and what should they do as we enter into the season?
Well, I think an election, the festivities in an election year comes with its own character. We know those who are in the business of paraphernalia are likely to see a boom because of the political activities. I think it is a very big industry. That manufacturing of apparel, the printing businesses, the design, the graphic design related business. I think it's absolutely important that we begin to build a local industry around that. So that's a very important sector. We've heard in time past that even some political parties are importing T-shirts and other paraphernalia, which is not a great thing. I think it's time to look inward, and those are things that, with a little push, the Ghanaian producers will have the expertise, and it's a very important sector. So at least we know the big boom comes in an election year. So let's hope that we pay a lot more attention to that, and we don't allow that to become an additional source of pressure on the currency.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Prof.
You're welcome. Have a good morning.
Have a good morning too, Prof. So that is Professor Patrick Esuming. He is an economist and a lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. He's helped us look at the cedi, our local currency, ahead of the elections and the Yuletide season. This is all we have on Business Fix. Epiphania.
Thank you so much, Abna. I mean, I think he made some key points, and as always, I'm just going to ask you what your key takeaway was.
Well, my takeaway is that, we should look beyond importation and start doing some things domestically, especially when he spoke about the paraphernalia. We know how many the tons that they will be producing in this election season. It's very necessary that if we were producing them in Ghana here, then the money will be circulated in the country, and then we do not have to spend so much money on dollars or foreign currency. So for me, it is about looking domestically, and then the things that can be produced here domestically, we do produce it.
Well, thank you so much, Abna. That was really an insightful conversation. So for those of you that mainly want to pick the business tips, let's look in domestically and then produce them, what we can produce. You're still watching ABC in the morning. We'll definitely be bringing you trends shortly. We'll be right back.
Business owners. It's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _.
Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the third season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054-955-4148 to register. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the third season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054-955-4148 to register.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _.
ABC in the morning. Before we move on to take trends, let's take a look at some of the key stories, that are making the headlines today across various news portals. Now, we're actually moving straight to abcnewsgh.com. So if you haven't gone there to go and check out some of the key stories, do all to go there. And we have calm restored after chaos at NPP primary rerun in Wale Wale. Calm restored after chaos at NPP primary rerun in Wale Wale. I made mention of this earlier when we were actually talking about it. We said we'll be looking further at the issues. There was some, chaotic disruption that took place yesterday when it got to the counting and the collation of, the results that took place. But then they realized that, okay, something was happening which was not supposed to happen. So we had the security forces there, which is the police, and then also the military step in and actually just take the ballot box and just storm off with it. Also, we have Be Angry Enough. Eco-conscious demands leadership commitment when it comes to the Galamsey fight. And for election 2024, so NDC to embark on nationwide protest over voter register irregularities. We'll be looking at that later further in the show. Now, for free SHs, we have send your children to private schools if you can afford. Akufo-Addo advises. So for those of you that are wondering, okay, who is saying this? Well, the president himself. He's actually advising that if you can afford it, send your children to private schools. And this was basically amid growing calls, for the free senior high school policy to be revised. And basically they're suggesting that families who can afford to pay for the private school fees, should consider enrolling their wards in private institutions, as opposed to just everybody hopping onto the main train and overloading it, and thereby actually depriving those who actually need the free SHs from benefiting from it. Now, moving away from abcnewsgh.com, we're heading straight to City Newsroom, and we have, some of the key stories that are making the headlines there. We actually have the EC talking about, the confusions. And, well, looking straight at the story, doing nothing no longer an option. Galamsey is an enemy of the nation. This is coming from the Asantehene. And then also, I'm really disappointed at Otuado on Niger's draw. One arrested in connection with NPP Wale Wale rerun violence. We also have NPP Wale Wale primary nullified after ballot snatching incident. Galamsey, we are in crisis, but no one is responding. Ken Ashigbe. Poisoning our waters is genocide. Ken Ashigbe sounds alarm over Galamsey crisis. And Utah calls for immediate nationwide ban on mining. Bawumia will make history for NPP by breaking the AIDS. This is actually by Gideon Boako. And then also alleged killer of Ugandan athlete Rebecca Cheptegei dies from burns, hospital says. We are under pressure to beat Sudan. Otuado. So this is actually coming. And then moving on to graphic.com. EC must act with impartiality, President Akufo-Addo. We also have police announce 50,000 Ghana cedi bounty for suspects that is actually wanted. And then Apple banks on AI to boost sales of new iPhone 16. Utah calls for nationwide ban on Galamsey strike action. 34 lives have actually been lost through inland water transport accidents. This is from the audit report. And Catholic Bishops' Conference urges stakeholders to ensure peaceful elections. GCB crowned CIMG Marketing Oriented Bank 2023. Close ranks for victory. Bawumia campaign team member to NPP faithful. SIGA to launch real-time monitoring system for specified entities. We also have promoting green financing development. UESD holds stakeholder sustainability conference and will decentralize SHS food supplies. Mahama. Addressing indiscipline in schools, NAT demands stakeholders' engagement. And also GES commiserates with deceased O'Reilly students' family, institutes administrative investigation. And Trust Mother and Child Hospital is actually marking a 10th anniversary, and EC must act with impartiality. Also, the police have announced the 50,000 Ghana cedi bounty for suspect who is wanted for threatening public officials. Yes. We have 8 file presidential nominations. Wanderlust Ghana launches 30,000-kilometer expedition. DC will increase cashew production to 500,000 tons. Mahama. NPP in good shape for victory. Dr. Bawumia. NDC's proposal for agro-processing zones, pathway to industrialization or economic revival. And we have NPP's Gideon Boako files nomination for Tano North parliamentary election. Africa must prioritize agriculture for sustainable development. This is said by the 2022 Africa Food Prize laureate. And we have, so Asiedun Ketia files John Mahama's presidential nomination forms with EC. And National Chief Imam and clergy pray for Bawumia ahead of filing the nomination. So, these are some of the key stories that are actually making the key headlines on. Well, we'll be heading straight to take our trends, and my colleague Justina is ready for that. Do stay with us, we'll be back shortly. has what's trending for us in the world of social media. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Epiphania.
So what's shaking tables on social media today?
Well, Epiphania, let me just welcome our viewers to Trends, where we bring the latest in what's trending online, from viral sensations to the stories everyone's talking about. My name is Justin Alate, and we are going to just jump right into what's trending today. So whether you're a football fanatic or just tuning in, this game was a game to remember. Ghana played against Niger yesterday, set the pace for the match with the goal before it was equalized by people are talking about. So Sayuti says, even Niger, the Black Stars can score. Charlie. Then Yao also says, as usual, Ghana draws 1-1 with Niger, despite the hosts playing on away soil in Morocco. Shambles. And Bloody Soldier says, drawing against Niger. Are you people serious? Pooja says, there is something spiritually wrong with the Ghana football team. You can't have this talent in your team and can't beat Niger. Low. Too many stars without understanding. Alex Mensah says, I have officially retired from watching Black Stars Dema matches. These MFs don't care about the mental stress we go through being Ghanaians. Niger, oh my goodness. And then Daystar says, we cannot score Niger. Erade. And T-Man says, by the way, Ghana could not beat Niger today, just like the way Angola beat them at home on Thursday. Ghana decline is unbelievable. And the final one, Ghana in Niger with their almighty kudos and the Semenyo they have been hyping and comparing with our players. This time around, they played on a good turf after complaining of the state of the Baba Yara pitch, and still they can't beat Niger. Yes, and next up, yesterday, Apple unveiled the new iPhone 16, showcasing its latest innovation and features. The event highlighted significant upgrades, including improved performance, enhanced camera capabilities, and a sleek new design. Yes. We all know the Apple iPhone series, and this time they dropped the iPhone 16. Let's see what people are saying on social media. So Douglas A. Bonaparte says, Apple just keeps making the same product over and over again, thinking their customers will keep buying them. Sent from my new iPhone 16 Pro Max. And Senior Bro says, now person wey no dey face real life issues go buy this iPhone 16. Abbas says, I don't even like the color and design of this iPhone 16. I will not be buying it. Yes. So one more person that's making waves on social media is Efia Odo. Yes, Efia Odo is causing a stir on social media after announcing her departure from Eats Avenue, the restaurant she previously claimed to own. So she recently posted a tweet saying, I'm no longer affiliated with Eats Avenue. Eat at your own risk. Thank you. And a lot of people have reacted to this tweet. So Ghana Yesu says, a few minutes ago, you were saying you own 40%. And now you are saying you are not affiliated to Eats Avenue again. This means you sold your percentage. So now, the only restaurant you... Oh, wow. Sorry, that's very inappropriate language, so we will not be taking that. And Ronnie says, I thought you said you are the CEO of Eats Avenue. How come CEO is fired? Roland says, so all the ranting you did about Eats Avenue, then you did whine us. How come CEO isn't in affiliation with her own company again? Charlotte Nichols says, after Efia Odo told us she owns Eats Avenue on UTV, she went to 3FM in August to say she co-owned it, and now she's telling us to eat at our own risk. Efia Odo, do you know you can't be dragged to court? Kwabena Sapon is a good person, so he might let it slide. Okay, so I am Fifi one says, sources close to me say, if y'all don't knew the owner go come clean in restaurant, that be why she starts the podcast show, no? So, yeah, that was all on social media trends. Thank you for tuning in with us. Stay connected with us for more updates on hot topics. Epiphania. And keep following us on our social media platforms at ABC News GH_ on all social media platforms. Epiphania, over to you.
Justina, so you definitely can also hop on and then put your thoughts, but don't forget you can send us your thoughts on any of the issues that we're discussing here on the show on all social media platforms at ABC News GH_. So just let us know what you think and we definitely will bring it out. And also don't forget to send your birthday shout outs if you want to wish that special someone. Send your birthday shout outs as well on our social media platforms, also WhatsApp numbers, and then we definitely will read it out for you. We're heading straight to hear what the people have to say. I mean, this is the segment where we get to listen what the people have to say about the key issues that are affecting their very livelihoods. We're heading on to Ghana Speaks.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speaks.
Well, today for Ghana Speaks, or yesterday, my colleague Samuel started something which we're actually planning to take to all the constituencies, actually. So he went to the constituency. Yesterday, he was at Ladade Koto Point. He was actually engaging the constituents and asking them, you know, assess the performance of your MP, and we got to hear what the people had to say. We do apologize for the sound yesterday though, and we hope to get more for today. But today he is in Lejokuku, and let's hear what the constituents have to say about the performance of their MP. Hi, Samuel.
Hello, Epiphania, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. Epiphania, we are here at the Lejokuku constituency in Teshi, at Teshi Mobile, where we will be engaging, as we did yesterday with Ghana Speaks. On Ghana Speaks, we engage the constituents for them to assess the parliamentary candidate within the constituency. This constituency presents two very intriguing personalities. We have the sitting MP, who is an NDC MP, Ben Aikunate. And then we have the former MP, who is also a Minister of Health, Bernard Okoboy. Right. And these two will be going toe to toe with each other on December 7th for the parliamentary seat in the Lejokuku constituency. One thing is that in this constituency, apart from Bernard Okoboy, each MP that was elected has been given 2 terms before the person was unseated. But in 2020, Bernard Okoboy, after winning the 2016 election, lost the 2020 election. So meaning that he had only 1 term as against the 2 terms that they normally give to the other constituents. But today we are in the constituency to engage some youth on what they think about these 2 personalities, these 2 candidacy, and especially Ben Ayuku as a parliamentarian of the constituency. How do they assess him? And what has been their assessment of him within the past 4 years? Boss, you are welcome, sir. Pacho Bowuti Kakra.
Amabasa.
Okay. Benjamin Nete, on a NP war, Lejokuku Muha. In the last 4 years, no more than 30 amount.
Like some can cry me chino and share and me can cry. Like if I speak English, like you fed one of our brothers is testing the Lejokuku. So I want to speak our whole language. So that our Lejokuku go hear what I'm telling them.
All right, speak your language.
Oh, okay. kama wi fio nage benayiku Dr. Kobwe by first before then labor si ya no kwale mi kama study lutumoni Dr. Okobwe eba tun ayiku eba chuko na kami jakra eba chuko tomo eba chuko 10 lutumoni eba chuko she 30% crap we okay tomo 20% go bre ona no ya no kwale mi ka ba US ani be wani wo former MP Okobwe le SFM ni ebe kon gosko kwe ayiku lutumoni yo kon le eba fet wo lo be sani wo former ba wo former na jan wa lutumona mo get the parliament e wide regime we and now post program ni now more post can be they gonna that ona get right now e best it she say e post program ni parliamentary was sani wo former enye ba nle ba femini e bata sit no because money you on right now ni jibena iku enutumo ye slow feel awo e bodo e beton a control ona lentele we use ejomo feel siani egbeji owawo advice am go ne obonga si eno so le eno ya ni control mo son lentele we use ejomo feel si Dr. Kobwe le ejomo na wa le a control le bono le fast o fa no e sharp no be mi papapa no mi pa wonye me la jogugu dash me fa ke sana me sa ngeni ha Dr. Okobwe ekon ni be kon because le ba nye wa ma awo.
All right, thank you on but you were telling me that you like what's the name, the current MP.
Yes, please.
You like him much. Why do you like him?
Yo, if I yes, I'm tomo no one in na kanjie be mini wo bana wo former MP ni ji Okobwe no chumo mi e wona keshin wo no wona ju OMP ke o president Fenita no ha ni bi ko me feel so simple e ha bo but be mini Okobwe ba MP ni tan e president ni tan no ha ni bi ko me feel simple e ha ni se be mini Bernard ba je president ni tan no we feel ko me ha ni bi ko me feel so hard ha la ka si e ba nya feel so easy wo me prefer ke mo masa alomani nyame makpa nyame fe fa ka si ni ofon osike e ha le e ko because kaji wo ba wo fa na ye pijam no kaji na kanie bebini wona ke o bemini jomama ntoni e baba kini won wi shake san wo vote ale okan Bernard I push kome komi no wo president FN no tumo kaji e ba hin san wo chake le no problem wo fe hin le page no wo to na no wo chake le so I think I guess san wo kan le this year na ko.
All right, thank you. Big man, let me speak to you. Oh, don't run away. Let me speak to you. You look at these two candidates, Okobwe, who is now health minister. He's within the health ministry. One problem that I've identified within the area is employment, in terms of giving jobs to the youth to work and all of that. Don't you think that if Okobwe comes as a health minister, if you guys had voted for him, if Lejo Kuku constituent had voted for him, now that his president is in power, he would have helped more because he's not the health minister. He would have given jobs to the people. You don't think so?
Okay, can you know you all if I am of fame? She don't know what you are. Kaji, what is me okay? 4 years and cafe on her MP send Batalano in Nimuko Eba, 4 years, like 1 8 years, low. On one I can obey, no more a true. 1 year, then you were attacking me and I mean what I came. Kajo Koba, Benachona Canon, if I want you there because yes, come on. Nimbe so ake to be ni Bernard yo Gemina yo akesi eyen wa ele no chumolo no ko mokoni yen kan hie e ba anya ye MP because mokoni yen cash ni ele ni o she efetumo ene me oba ka business ni business part no ka no na akesi o ni bi nya lo ba o ka mo ya gbo na akesi o ni bi e ya lo ba no ni na la ke Bernard ba yin tia 4 years more ko ni na 8 years e ke je yen no ko twen ko what jail system in pra.
Sorry, I hear opeso cast chiwan Yankachi. Okay. Done. Okay. Maybe so. Any penalty. December 7th. Omuwana. Osha. Let you for Tumana.
I said, no matter what any president net now, so anything I'm most or modern. So the president net now, so I'm almost so yeah.
na also obombo de enema then na why am a constituent.
Why we be Brahma?
Bit me boss.
Yeah, it was
okay. O say mean say o kasa no me gan me share dance ni papa be me say o pay Bernard Okoboyasin. Why would you convince, or what will make you convince other electorate within the area to vote for Bernard Okoboyasin over
Samuel, can you hear me?
Bernard? Hello, Epiphania.
Yes, so I think quickly for the benefit of those who don't understand the Ga that is actually being spoken. So for the two gentlemen that you have, the earlier one you spoke to was saying that he definitely is not in support of the current one and he wants to bring back the old one because for him, the old one did a much better job. But then for the current one, I mean, in his own words, he feels that he's being controlled by other people. It's not, he doesn't have a mind of his own. So it's more like he's more like he's just being puppeteered around. So that's why he doesn't want him. He's not going to vote for him again. He wants to vote him out. And for the second gentleman who is actually on your right, he was saying that it's just fair to give him an extra 4 years so that they can actually say that, okay, we gave him 8 years and basically that's what he did. And he made mention of an important fact that give the fact that probably your party doesn't win the presidency and then you win, the primaries and then you're actually you're the member of parliament, because it's more like you're in the opposition party as much as you're still in governance. It kind of makes things difficult for you. So for them it was easier to let's just give both the president and also the member of parliament an opportunity for them to be able to do what they can do so that they see what is actually happening. But he's also saying that, I mean, when you explained to him earlier, he's saying that he understands the point you're making, but he feels that let's give this guy another 4 years and then say that, okay, after 8 years you didn't actually do anything, and then we can all agree that, okay, we're taking you or voting you out of power.
I have another gentleman here, Epiphania, if time will allow me.
Definitely, please engage him.
All right, sir. Problems been mutafisi in terms of development. Problems been mutafisi
Service support in this officer supporting 100%. In obviously MPP officer supporting 100%. Into say way ya didn't way ya every will be ever say they are present and MP men say no. I am a young man for the thank I made them in Kumajian and come the president in Mama. Thank you, the MP no ama Okoboy. Thank you, Okoboy actually muscle.
Pacho, you say you have a point about what is it? Is it that the road that he said Okoboy made them construct, is it not true?
It's not true.
Why do you say it's not true?
Yo, nefane, the entire American son is there. Bemini Okoboy batano 4 years no me I think I can work where ekome efte nakano ba. Nya na igbari ni efi nakani ni NDCB host demonstration need to fix the road. Ni mi ni nakani. Yesterday atun eni awon mi le wo amebe candidate here bi no be mini NDC host na can fix the road demonstration what the demonstration friends atun eni aka be candidate so far as ake ni ana candidate here ni ana candidate tana na ake Okoboy ejimo ni domo MP na be mini amiani abongbe femo ko ni be mi ni ko ni Okoboy ke na gbe ni mi ni eke ba yen ni no ni wo brown wi okumeji keji mama ba aye le wani MP Okoboy eye mi tafache moko be ni mi ni to ko be ni ke afo china ni ba ni ese ona ni no go for to to di west no for to ko na me nyo se wo keji mama ni ba aye ba ni enyemi no alo ebiniji ayiko enye ese na fe ni wona no ni poten ni mi ni wo fight to ko ni.
So basically what you are saying is that the road was constructed as a result of the demonstration that they had.
Yes,
that is what brought about the road construction, and we cannot give that to Okoboy and say that it is Okoboy who led the construction of the road. You are still, I think you support Okoboy. You are still a staunch supporter of Okoboy. In this constituency, apart from the road, what else has he done as Minister of Health? He's been before he was a deputy minister of health. Before, now he's the minister of health. What else has he done?
Oh yeah, Emma, friends, national insurance. Abaho. It says okay, Tinamo. Emma never betis. It is only okay, Tinema, but not petition. Sandy Browse piano manoka. So then it was a piano. MP now, yeah, necessary MP now also no. Although, which and what about but nothing is there. I'm a prime minister, no, small boy now, no cooking, and also no ja, some small boy and a small boy no. But who's down, no, the near figure crap. In also go jam a small boy and a small boy near the echo, on no quayanka, but Zana Map, and I has come to Zana Map, but on one course, you know.
In terms of jobs, yeah. How has Okoboy and what's the name? Benaiku performed in the two? If you are looking at who has created jobs, why not Wama Ejuma Ba Lejokukumu? Which of the two? And I'm Ejuma Ba.
Like Sauban Ejuma Sema, say, and this poverty to my can of Parapa, I'm better my catcher. Say, Okoboy, Dr. Okoboy, I'm Ejuma. Abala Jokugu more than Aiku. Because Usha Aiku ni Juma Oyenu. Or go through crowd no or more Biatuma. Ebia make on work I say, yeah, me can be but me probably former Dr. Kobe, time now Babet Nasono. Or son, like Jokugu boys be call Kolebu. Accra Gan Kolebu, or yeah, Juma, boys be or mom go yeah, Juma. By say, oh, buy qua. So, be some Gramun Nippon Betcher say, oh, way, I go. And Pachoy, me brack and 7% me bow. Yeah, from me brassy, like, yeah, you president, not Naso, and you now on to me, yeah, to yeah, but that a yampa, like any president, but a yampa. So called Labadi, who calls you, and this near DMP, one Rita, say, or end this name, but or any Jumaye, or my Australia coin, or my bill, Tokrobia, Anamibua, who call Labadi, so, and also ending, and this MP, or Anambua, who come was the same thing. Omunina, Musa Juman, or Moon, yeah, was Una Uber Fati, our parliament, as Sana Day, a Juman Beba. But I call na bodos a burden at Mapa. And Zembra, I say, and any president net Naswa, Yanfas Adia Yajuma, who now be fighting. I'm a Ukrum, Nejman about Ukrum.
Okay, or say, Ben, I put or your bot say, Kaka, on Shadan, or Parliament, or Seminim so follow Parliament proceedings. What I can Parliament?
Batman Okasa
Parliament.
Batman Okasa. To say, every practice, Assembly, you can walk one no. Wakasa, Saraka, say, or Parliament pain. Videos were out. Wakasa pain. And on the other say, Upon Labadi, Osu, Senisea, Senisea, or what now? But Bernard buying 4 years penny 1 year, and 4 years, you know, also or trying the best over here. I'm a month for no, I'm a constitution, but never cause sad because a year send a home and ye canon empty. The woman is here, your best dress here, and yes, you pay Okubas, and I say, ba, Muamusi 4 years, and say, will be by your man.
Sammy,
8 years, nation the modern boy. Nti me ma sama ba kwa meka ne say you know every so a they are all working no ye man no 8 years no oh kwa na den na wanye ne ya sa
so hello Epifania.
Yeah, so I was just telling you that we definitely need to be mindful of time as well as it's an interesting conversation you're having with them over there.
Let me just wrap up with this gentleman who has just joined us. He want to comment on these two.
Sure.
You speak English to us, right? You want to speak Gan. All right. But finally, what do you make of the two? the two candidates.
You said something about work, like Okoboy and our current MP, who has provided work for the youth. I seriously, you can see. Nobody will tell you. You see it yourself. Because Ayiko has provided many jobs. What some are the no, yes. I know many of my friends that they are working for Ben Ayiko. Yeah, but since Okoboy came, that's not passing. Okay, fine. Okoboy came to our place and he provided Aboboya for the youth. But when he was when he lost the election, he collected all. He collected it. You understand? He collected it.
I can't substantiate that claim that he collected back his motorcades or the tricycles when he lost the elections. But I just want to make a point for you all because of time. That one thing about MPs is that they are not in charge of constructing roads. In terms of roads, you were mentioning roads.
Yes.
It is not the work of the NP to construct roads within the constituency. But however, they play a major stake in terms of lobbying. Like you mentioned, when they go to parliament, they lobby with the ministers in Ministry of roads, right? To bring roads to their communities. Yeah. So if you see roads not being constructed in your constituency, the first call should be your DC or your MC. Then after that, you can also go to the parliamentary, the MP, because they also help in lobbying. And I want to thank you very much for your time on ABC News Ghana. This is Ghana Speaks. And Epiphania, this has been the sentiment of some voters and the youth within the Lejokuku constituency, as you heard it from their own selves. The two candidates, some prefer Dr. Okoboy, others prefer the current MP, and they have all provided reasons why they make their choice, and they seem to be determined, or they seem to have made up their mind already on who to vote for come December 7th. This constituency is one that our viewers should keep a key eye on, because the elections in this constituency was very tight and close. Reporting from Lejokuku constituency here at Teshi Mobile, I am Samuel Yimabo. Epiphania, you can take over.
Well, thank you so much, Samuel. I mean, it was an interesting conversation. It was great to hear. This is basically what Ghana Speaks is about, giving you the opportunity to actually tell us the issues that matter to you. And in this case, we're looking at assessing the performance of your various members of parliament. Are they doing the things they said they'll do? Have they actually fulfilled their promises? Or have they done 50%? Or for some of them, I mean, have they done nothing at all? So this is giving you the microphone and giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. You're still watching ABC in the morning. We'll be right back for our main discussion.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024. We're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _.
Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the third season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054-955-4148 to register. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the third season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054-955-4148 to register. Best
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _.
Actually looking at the internal dynamics of the People's National Convention as we actually approach the 2024 general elections. The PNC recently held their national, their national congress to elect new leaders that would actually lead them into the 2024 general elections. But the process has been anything but smooth if you've actually been following the recent developments in the party. Today we're actually joined by David Apasera, who has publicly rejected the result results of the Congress, and we have Bernard Mona, who was declared as the flag bearer. Well, Mr. Apasera did allege that the election was fraught with irregularities and is including the exclusion of several regions from voting. He also accuses the Electoral Commission of bias. Well, good morning, sir. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning.
We'll be looking straight into the reasons behind your rejection, but I want to find out, you've rejected the results of the PNC's 2024 Congress and you've cited several irregularities. Can you actually explain the main reasons behind your rejection?
Well, the main thing is that we had reached out to the Electoral Commission telling them that there was an injunction on the party. And I had talked with my lawyers, and they said we have to withdraw it so that I will be free to go ahead. And we had taken steps to prepare ourselves so that it is not a difficulty if we were conducting it today, and the winner will get all the documents. The documents would have been filled and so on. You just put your name and you get your running mate attached, that's all. So I called the Electoral Commission, told them that cited in a notice of an application for injunction, and that I have been advised not to go ahead except we get it withdrawn. So I said, okay, if it is so, we should turn it to 10th of September, and then I'll get a young man on Monday. That would have been yesterday. I'm working out. Then the Electoral Commission said I should write. I wrote and attached the documents to them. And then they said, okay. They called out to Makawusi that he should bring back the ballot papers he had sent to the airport. He was going to dispatch to the region via the air. And so the people I sent came back and told me that yes, they stopped Mark from sending. The following day, in the morning, around 8, my people told me there were people gathering at polling centers, and that the Electoral Commission people were coming with their boxes. So I called the Deputy Director for Elections, one Mr. Kitty. I said, oh, they had decided that the thing will be shifted to 10. And so why they instructed them, so they will call. And then about 10 o'clock, the people actually carried their boxes away. That's the Electoral Commission official. They carried their boxes away. And so the people called to tell me, oh, they have carried the boxes away. So I said, well, this is what Mr. Kisi has told me, so they can go and relax. Or whatever business they have, they go and do, and then we come on Tuesday and vote. Around 11 o'clock, I called Mr. Kisi to thank him and to say, well, I understand they have moved. They said, oh yes, this is the thing. We had instructed them to move. Around 12:01, ballot boxes were returning to the polling centers. Now, you can imagine the difficulty here, because people are not just pinned down to doing elections. What do they gain too much from elections? They have, even if they gain so much, they have their individual work that they do. So if you go to execute some program and it is not coming on, you cannot be sitting down. And so at 1, 2, that you are bringing ballot boxes to the center, who's going to be there? So it was such that you couldn't get everybody, the delegates, to come, and the delegates never came. What was done was more than a fraud. And the thing here is that if I am in contest with somebody, you are talking to me. Certainly, I'm talking to my supporters. That other person may also be talking to his supporters. So it was like they were telling me, oh, tell your supporters to go, while they were telling my contender, tell your supporters to stay and vote. So at the end of the day, very low turnout. Very, very, very low turnout. And it is just that my supporters...
I want to find out, you also made mention of the fact that some regions, including the western and then the northern regions, didn't participate in the voting process. And
yes,
what you've stated is quite a significant thing. Now, let's look at how significant it is and basically how is it affecting the legitimacy of the election that has taken place?
Well, the thing is not only western region. In fact, here are the regions that didn't just show up at all. Because people had traveled home. Nobody was able to travel back. It's the distance. The same thing happened in northern region. The same thing happened in western. But wherever there was voting, it wasn't just as see people had been able to come. Those who voted were those who were still loitering around. Why were they loitering around? It means they were being told not to go. And my people were being told to go. This is where this thing is. The other thing is that why would Electoral Commission go with one person to parcel ballot papers and give it to that one person who is personally interested in the thing and aligned to my main contender to carry the ballot papers to the airport? Is it that the Electoral Commission doesn't have personnel? Or they trust so much that the individual is so trustworthy that nothing can happen to the ballot papers? I think that is a very serious issue. And so, based on that, I said no, I won't accept that. Why would I accept that? Why would I accept a serious fraud that has been highly orchestrated in such a manner that one wouldn't have ever thought about it that way? In fact, I have participated in elections over and over. I have never encountered this. I've never seen any time that EC officials go to polling grounds at 12:01 with ballot boxes for people to vote. Meanwhile, they had instructions to close at 5. I have never seen that in my life.
Sarah, not to cut you, I want to find out, since you don't and you're rejecting the results, that means that you intend to actually take legal actions. Is that the case?
Please, I haven't heard you clearly.
I want to find out that since you're rejecting the results of the election and you're actually citing all these irregularities, you do have plans to take legal action.
Yes, so I've consulted my lawyers and I've instructed them to work on it. Because, you see, wrongdoing, wherever it is, must be rejected. Wrongdoing must be, at least, mustn't be encouraged. If you encourage wrongdoing, no matter whichever sector or small space is taking place, it is bound to fester and grow and overwhelm the whole system. And I think that wrongdoing should be condemned, should be frowned upon. And if the wrongdoing comes to confront me, I'll fight the wrongdoing.
The current flag bearer who has actually been declared, Bernard Mona, extend what you call maybe more like a partnership or a hand of friendship. But then I want to find out, how are you looking at taking that hand of friendship? Because with your rejection, it definitely doesn't mean that you're accepting the hand of friendship that he has extended.
Oh, no. I talked with him. He took time and insulted me over the radio properly. And he was accusing me of doing wrong. he himself, what he has done, is it not wrong to you? What he has perpetrated, is it not wrong to you? And so, when you do those things, and you say you are extending a hand. So, for instance, if I go and commit a crime and I'm extending a hand, or if I commit an illegality, wrongdoing, and I'm extending a hand, you gloss over that wrongdoing. No, I don't hate him. I don't see him as an enemy. No. What I am seeing is just that the wrong must be corrected so that it doesn't repeat itself. That day, if I had asked my people to go or call some people, or if I had gone to the center myself, it might have been a bloodbath. And I don't want to see bloodbath. I don't want to see people wounded over these things. I don't want to see anybody losing a life over these things. Because at least if we are in a democratic process, we are struggling in the interest of the country and in the interest of our party. And so why would I be so much bent on it must be or death? No, I don't think it is that. So I have no problem with Bernard. But whatever is wrong is wrong. And I can tell you that has been my nature from my early stages in politics. My nature has been to confront the wrong.
So in your bid to actually confront this wrong that you're doing, I want to find out, should this go to court? And I mean, all things being called back and forth and everything, and then eventually he still is declared as the flag bearer. Are you willing to work in the name of peace for the party with him?
What can I do? I mean, I am doing and if I'm taking a legal battle, the law, that is the only peaceful way of resolving issues and checking wrongs. And if the judges say, oh, what they did is right, the Electoral Commission can give somebody assurances and tell him to take his people away. That Electoral Commission can just disenfranchise people in a very serious election. You may not be hearing from me. I mean, you are not hearing from the people who are down there. A lot of people have said to me, I can take a screenshot of some message sent to me that says, I am now going to leave your party, and I want to talk with you now. Call me back. That message has just come. A whole lot of people called to talk to me because I've been working on the ground. I've been working.
That.
And so,
in light of that, I want to find out quickly. I mean, as much as you've said that, should all things being equal, you go to court and everything, and it turns that he's still declared as a flag bearer, and then you're willing to work with him. Now, I mean, let's just go back from 2012 all the way down, I mean, to 2020, which was the last election we had. We realized that in 2012, I mean, the country Sanayariga and Helen Sanorita Jatube. But then when you come to the results of the election, the votes they were able to garner was, 24,617. Now, fast forward to 2016, the party was being then led by Edward Mahama and Emmanuel Anyidoho, and they were able to garner 22,214 votes. If you bring it down to 2020, we had David Asibi Apasera, which was you, and Divine Ayivo. And for the vote you were able to garner was 10,852. If you look at the percentage of the votes, it never goes beyond the 1% mark. And for the position, it was always fifth consecutively. I mean, I want to find out, how do you believe that as a party you can move beyond this? Because when it comes to breakaways in the PNT, like you're telling me you've received a text message from somebody telling you that they want to actually leave the party, but then they want to speak to you first. These breakaways that we keep seeing and having consistently with people going to set up their own parties because there's not that, coexistence or the work unity in the party. Don't you think that this is actually affecting the overall performance of the party when it comes to the general elections?
Yeah, these things happen because people want to embark on illegalities. And when you embark on illegalities, people are sensitive to such things. People are sensitive in the sense that they have their aspirations, and everybody is interested in maybe taking a position so that he or she can contribute in the way and manner that he thinks will adhere to the party interest. And so if you go and forcefully do things and take the people out, they are thief. You understand? That is why a party should not go into illegalities. Do the right thing. When you do the right thing, everybody is peaceful. Because in a contest, somebody must lose and somebody must win. Except maybe in boxing contests, you say, oh, it is a draw. But in elections, even if it's a draw, then you have to go back again. And so there is no way somebody will be thinking that, oh, I must win. But when you see a very clear malpractice, fraud, illegality, like what happened on Saturday, you can't tolerate that. Why? You can't tolerate that. I mean, if you want to do the right thing, tell everybody, please. The Electoral Commission has decided that we have no time to come. So let everybody come. That is early morning that I called them. If they had told me that, I would have told everybody, move there. After all, I've written and I have something to tell the court that I didn't instruct anybody to go to this polls. I mean. But you tell me, oh, we have instructed. You have instructed. Up to 11 o'clock, you have instructed. Can you imagine how vast the regions are? And somebody goes far away. And this is farming season, especially in the north. Somebody goes back to his farm. How are you going to trace him to his farm to come and vote? And so these things, it is not like one is why must I lose? No, it is not why must I lose. It is why should it happen like that? It must be corrected. Must be corrected. That is where I stand.
Also stand with you in the fact that it must be corrected. Illegalities and then things that are not done right definitely must be corrected. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Apasera. We were speaking to Mr. Apasera, and we just, heard his side of the story. We've also heard him explain, why he's rejecting the results of the People's National Congress. For the Congress results that they recently gave as they declared Bernard Mona as the flag bearer. He also cited some key irregularities and also why he believes that the EC is actually, being biased in this case. If you're still watching ABC in the morning, we'll definitely be bringing you our main discussion shortly. Do stay with us. Let me quickly run you through some of the things we'll be looking at on the main. Facilitating and that was sent voter and some cast, a shadow of credibility ahead of the December elections here in Ghana. Now, a lot of people, they're not only people. Yesterday, for example, we actually engaged. Well, let me see if we can actually get Mr. Rashid Tanko. Mr. Rashid Tanko, if you can hear me, you're welcome to the show.
Hello.
Dr. Fred Odro, if you can hear me, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. And Mr. Rashid Tanko, you're also welcome to the show.
Well, I'm Dr. Rashid Tanko, computer.
Thank you, Dr. Rashid Tanko. Thank you for the correction. It's good to have both of you on the show. Now, before we move straight into the key issues we'll be looking at very quickly, we've heard the government say that they're looking to prosecute about 850 people in regards to the Galamsey issue. We know it's a menace. We've seen the damage to our river bodies, our water bodies, and also we'll look at some of the health-related issues that are affecting the communities that are located around these water bodies. I want to take your opinions very quickly on this issue.
Very well. Thank God, I am just coming from Amenfi Central, Amenfi East, en route. And I can tell you the extent of damage these people have caused to this country. I'm telling you, they have messed up the forest area. What I saw there is terribly bad. Terribly bad. In fact, if we don't reset this country come December, what is going on up there? We don't have future for our forest. The future of our cocoa industry will collapse any moment from now. In fact, the chemicals they are using to mine has virtually collapsed all the cocoa farms and all over there. If my sister is an eyesore, what I saw there is terrible. When we sit in Accra, we're talking about they are fighting Galamsey. They are not fighting any Galamsey. They are not fighting anything. It has officialdom support. Look, excavators were there. As I'm speaking, they are over there, just by the roadside road, not even deep inside the forest, just by the roadside. Very soon, they will dig into the road too.
Well, we'll definitely be taking more from that, but thank you so much. Dr. Fred, I want to take your opinion on this issue.
Well, until Ghanaians come to realize that the Galamsey issue is serious criminal activity, that it affects the very existence of Ghanaians, that we come to realize that this is an organized crime that is going on in this country. And it affects every facet of our lives. So if you want to take the social aspect to it, we know where there is Galamsey, it brings about armed robbery, it brings about prostitution, it brings about juvenile delinquency. If you want to talk about economic side, my colleague was talking about the cocoa industry. It's not only the cocoa industry. It's affecting agriculture as a whole because it's destroying the land. If you want to talk about the climate, I mean, it's destroying our water bodies. It's doing so much damage to us.
And here we sit here. And all politicians in this country must bow their heads in shame. The president and his team has failed. The opposition, they go to Galamsey sites, encouraging them that if we come, we'll allow you to participate. So the party in government is afraid to take them headlong. Our chiefs are part of the problem. Community members, everybody. And we want to blame individuals. Yes, leadership must be called to account. But it is sad. It is a crying shame that our very existence is at stake, and we sit here and we do politics with it because somebody wants to stay in power or somebody wants to come into power. It's a crying shame until we deal with it in that sense, that there's organized crime. The politicians involved, some people are criminals. They enter into politics to be able to succeed in their criminal activities. So I'm not going to blame politicians. They are genuine politicians. But those politicians who are engaged in such organized crime must be called, and we must call them to order and ensure that we have our country. It is sad that we sit here 4 years talking about Galamsey.
Well, definitely, that is what we're doing as we're pushing for more attention and also for government to start taking serious action with regards to Galamsey. But moving away from Galamsey and to one of the key issues that we have for today, the NDC has actually, raised concerns over some irregularities when it comes to the voter register. And then we know that just last month there was the exhibition that was done, and they raised some key questions, some key issues. Dead names, also the transfer of some votes. And I mean, these are issues that are cast a shadow over the integrity of the Electoral Commission. Now, I want to start with you, Dr. Rashid Tanko. Can you elaborate on the specific discrepancies that, your party has actually identified in the voters register? Dr. Rashid
Yes,
Tanko.
dear, I'll make it snappy for you because I'm en route. What is happening is this. We met the Electoral Commission on last Friday, in fact, presided by Madam Jean Mensah herself with her two commissioners, deputies, and then the Director of Electoral Services, and presented to them, in fact, anomalies that we've seen, 5 key anomalies that has made the register highly incredible, that cannot be used for purpose. And what we presented, key among them was the issue of bloating the register with old data of transfers. Old data of transfers, 2020 transfers that happened in 2023, they inadvertently added them to this current register in the transfer window. So by bloating the register to a tune of almost 243,000 of that such names, that's one aspect. We've also seen a pattern where illegal transfer, people's names have been transferred illegally from one constituency to another without their knowledge. So you are holding an ID card, sitting in your studio, thinking that you are going to vote at ABC polling station. You go there on the election day, your name will be in Bolga constituency, because you are not aware that they've transferred you. Nobody has told you this. Meanwhile, they have done it illegally. We've demonstrated all this to them, and we've demonstrated how people's names have also been transferred without a path showing where they are coming from and put into the register, apart from names being illegally taken out from the register.
Yes, so with regards to the concerns you've raised, yesterday actually, after doing the filing on behalf of your flag bearer, the national chairman, Asiedun Ketia, made mention of the fact that the party definitely intends to embark on a nationwide strike. Now, I want to find out, is this not going to cause fear and panic among the Ghanaians when it comes to, EC is supposed to be an independent body. EC is supposed to, we know EC is supposed to give us credible results and election, but when you actually embark on this nationwide protest and this demonstration, I want to find out, are you not causing fear and panic? And after the demonstration, what happens?
Yeah, we are not causing fear and panic. We are rather trying to protect our democracy. We see, when a democracy is about to collapse, it is through this nature, these processes that the Electoral Commission is embarking. That is the surest way of collapsing a democracy in a state. When you don't have clean register, forget of the main event. You want to rig election, you rig it through the register. And we are saying that we have demonstrated that this register is not credible. Look, in 2012, the NPP called for forensic audit of the register. Afarijan accepted it and wrote to UNDP. UNDP funded it and got an external body to come and help them check the register, audit it before we went into the 2012 elections. What has changed? This time, look at the worst scenarios that we are seeing in the register. And so when we are calling for this forensic audit, are we causing fear and panic? Is it right for you are here in Accra? You go to vote on December 7th, and they will tell you that your name is not in Accra, your name is now in Bolga. Are you going to fly to Bolga to go and vote? Is that what we are looking for in this country?
No,
and so when we are calling for level-headed people to talk and pop sense into the heads of the electoral commissioners, people are quiet. They don't see the need of this. That is why we want to vent our anger. We are not going to destroy anything. The demonstration is going to be peaceful, but it will be massive. In fact, it's going to be across the country. All the 16 regions, we are going to do it concurrently until they reason. Because they themselves accepted in our meeting with them that there is a problem with the register. The problem in the register needs serious cleaning. And they told us that they started some internal mechanism to clean the register. And we said, we don't trust you because you caused it.
So now, with regards to this, because I mean, yesterday they actually made mention of the fact that they want to ensure that there's peaceful, free and fair election. You know, we had the Electoral Commission actually put this out there yesterday. And you've also just stated that they've actually accepted that there are some issues with the register and the register does need proper cleaning. So in this case, is it that you don't trust them to carry out the cleaning and you would want an independent body to actually come and carry out the cleaning process?
Of course, they are the people who caused the mess. And I'm saying that they intentionally caused the mess, thinking that we will not see it. They didn't expect the NDC to see this, use our eagle eye to see what the mess they've created in the register. But we saw the mess. We presented it to them. Is it their first time of doing this kind of thing? You remember in 2023, when they did the district assembly election, almost 26,000 people's names could not be found in the register.
Well, we'll definitely come back to you. Let me not cut you off, but
so,
Dr. Rashid Tanko, let me just please hold that thought for me. I'll definitely come back to you. Moving to Dr. Fred Odro.
I want to beg you.
I want to find out quickly from Doctor. I just want to find out, Dr. Fred Odro, you know, looking at these issues that the NDC has raised, I mean, what does this mean for the credibility of the upcoming elections?
Well, there are genuine concerns, and they must definitely be addressed. But then I think our electoral system has got inbuilt checks and balances. One of them was this this exercise that was just carried out. That enabled political parties, particularly the NDC, to get through the whole system and bring out challenges they have identified. And these are genuine challenges. I think we should begin to trust our systems. If we keep on saying our system is broken, is bad, if we keep mistrusting or distrusting people put at the helm of affairs, what's going to happen is going to endanger our electoral system. Without that, supporters of NDC are today going to say, oh, the Jim Mensah-led EC is bent on, rigging the election. The point is that the inbuilt, mechanism gives us an opportunity to go through the system and identify the problems which have been done. What must be done next is to correct these challenges that have been identified. I don't think, going about to say the system is flawed is going to help us correct the challenges. I believe what we need at this stage is cooperation from all sides of the political divide to ensure that the right things are done. Except if these things are not done, then everybody would agree with the NDC that indeed the EC is bent on rigging the election. But for now, if the EC were so minded to rig the election, they wouldn't be following the processes. One of this includes giving voters the right to go and check whether their names are on the register. We've done that. We've identified the problems. The essence of that exercise is to identify such problems. Once they've been identified, let us go through processes that will enable us correct these problems. Otherwise, we'll be creating unnecessary tension.
Yeah, but I mean, as you have mentioned that if these things are found of their irregularities, then you believe that they should be corrected. You're standing firm on the point that we should be able to put trust in our own system. So for you, you would be okay in the sense that the EC should be allowed to correct the discrepancies that the NDC have actually stated.
No, I wouldn't even say the EC alone being allowed. This process concerns key partners. There are stakeholders. The stakeholders must be made a part of the process towards removing the challenges. Otherwise, it will create doubt. So for me, the EC should bring on board the stakeholders, the political parties, civil society organizations, even our development partners, as Dr. Tanko says was done in 2012. What we need to do at this level is to come together and correct it, so that everybody will be part of the process and can bear witness to the fact that indeed we identified these challenges and we have collectively, and we've been party to correcting the challenges we identified. In that way, we build trust in the system.
Definitely. I mean, Dr. Tanko, you've heard what Dr. Fred Odro has to say. I want to take your opinion on this. I mean, he's coming from the angle of we having and maintaining trust in our systems.
Yeah, how can I trust an electoral commission that is full of MPP apparatchiks? MPP key activists have been made commissioners. How do you trust such a body? How do we trust it? That is the problem we're having with these current electoral commissions.
I mean, no, not just in the political context. We're looking at the electoral commission as an independent body. So he's talking about bringing political parties on board. The EC bringing the political parties on board, the civil society organizations on board, and also our developmental partners also on board. So this is basically to help them in cleaning out the register, just as the NDC is fighting for.
Yeah, that is what we are calling and saying forensic audit. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
That is clearly what doctor is saying, clearly falls within our core. You see, doctor has hit it right. You see, we don't trust the EC alone to do the cleaning. If the EC is minded, and we are saying that let's get our development partners, civil society, we the political actors, because we identified it, we will come together and we will clean the register. We'll come together and we'll see where the problems are. But if you say we should leave the EC alone as disconstituted, because this current EC, we have MPP hardcore party members sitting there as commissioners.
Well,
so how do you trust such a body? That is the problem we're having. And so when we say we don't trust them, because we are saying that you cannot appoint your party a communicator or directors of election as commissioners and expect me to trust such a body. That is the issue we are having. That is they cause all this mess. And I'm saying that we will not trust the judgment of the Electoral Commission as it is constituted now to do that kind of cleaning.
Well, just as you've made mention that the EC has actually accepted it. Well, like Doc said, we're hoping to see that, I mean, the EC together, the political parties that are involved and also the civil society organizations will be able to come sit together and clean this, because let's take note, we're in election season. I mean, Dr. Tanko, I will have to say goodbye at this point and thank you for your time on the show. Dr. Fred Odro, we're definitely keeping you as we're moving on to other topics. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Rashid Tanko. He definitely is the Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. And we still have with us Dr. Fred Odro. He's a governance expert. Well, please, take note as you're listening to this and you're actually, from whichever angle, the key is for peaceful, free and fair election, and that's what we're trying to look at. In either case, nobody's trying to ignore what anybody's saying, nobody's trying to let go. The key thing is how do we address the key of it and look and move forward. Finally, I mean, on this issue, before we move on to other topics, I just want to find out from you, Dr. Fred Odro, how important is the role of civil society and international observers when it comes to ensuring a transparent electoral process, especially, looking at the concerns that have been raised?
Well, first and foremost, we have people with entrenched positions. If you take the political parties, They have entrenched positions. We've had types in our history since 1993. It has always been certain presidents who have appointed members of the Electoral Commission. I do not think we should keep on harping on what somebody believes in or what somebody doesn't believe in. What political party a member of the EC belonged to or what. The key thing is, I want us to trust our institution. We have our institutional systems that govern how we do we conduct our elections in this country. And for as long as we can all obey the rules of the game, it doesn't matter who sits there as a member of the commission, the right things can be done. We all know how elections are conducted in this country. I do not think, per se, the EC or the commission alone can rig elections in this country. They may contribute, but let us correct the things they can contribute. That's why I am saying, let us follow our institutional rules. One of them is to conduct this voters going to check up whether their names are on the system. If indeed we find our names there, we work with it. If it's not there, there are processes that allow us to put our names back. That does not rule out the fact that somebody can mischievously create some of these chaos. But we also know that systems can fail under certain conditions. The IT systems have failed under various conditions. But we all have to work together as a team to get this going. Our development partners and stakeholders, that especially civil society, they become very important to our process in that they must be seen to be coming from a point of view of fairness. They must be seen as coming in onto the table, not with biases or with jaundiced minds, unlike maybe our political stakeholders who will come to the table set in their minds that because I did not appoint this person, that person will work against him. The question I've been asking myself is, over the years, we've vilified the various electoral commissions, particularly if the appointee was made by a different political party, we don't trust them. But in the case of somebody like Dr. Farijan, even though he was appointed by President Rawlings, during the time of President Kufuor, NDC always vilified him because they thought he was in cahoots with the NPP, which did not appoint him. And as soon as the NPP lost power, they began to look at Dr. Farijan with suspicion. So this is nothing new. That's why sometimes some of us are not overly moved by what opposition parties say about our electoral commission. That's why I also think it helps if we can get our civil society, which especially that part that has not shown biases, to be part of the process to help us trust our system. Development partners, yes, they are only development partners, but when they come in, they also give us a lot of credibility. So let us bring on board all these groups so that even if somebody comes out to say, oh, I've been cheated or the system is not fair, we can also have an independent arbiter in these civil society organizations and development partners. And sometimes we also talk about international election observers coming in with their verdict as to how they saw the system. So I think it is good we encourage them to be part of the process. And indeed, in our history, we've always allowed international observers, we've always allowed our civil society organizations and our development partners to be part of the process. So let us continue to support that process, allow these key participants to be with us in the process so that it will be easier for a broad majority of our people to accept our electoral results.
Definitely. Well, that's pretty well said, Prof. And Doc, and we definitely agree with that. But we'll definitely please keep you on the line. You definitely have something due to time constraints. It's actually a very topical issue we'd like to touch on with you briefly before we let you go. And this has to do with, the chaos that erupted in Wale Wale following the, NPP, the rerun that they're doing for the primaries. And we basically want to quickly touch on this and then let you go. Now, just a little background on this. We've had that the NPP, leadership have actually decided they're going to convene to have what they call a crucial meeting tomorrow to discuss, which is today actually, to discuss the rerun on the elections taking place in Wale Wale. Yes, chaos have erupted. Initially, the EC currently has declared it null and void because of the chaos that erupted yesterday, and we actually had to see that security personnel had to step in and take away the ballot box. But looking at this season in which we are, which is filled with a lot of tension and basically is strife with all political arrows flying left, right, center, I just want to take your mind briefly on this issue. What do you think about what is happening in Wale Wale, and also taking that in alignment to what we're looking forward to expect come December 7th?
Okay, first and foremost, let us separate our intra-party politics from the inter-party politics. Let me begin by condemning in no uncertain words what happened in Wale Wale. You ask yourself, in which age are we living in? That you go about snatching ballots, you go about creating chaos in such a situation. It shows the immaturity of some of our key political actors. And the sad part of it is that these are the people who are supposed to be at the forefront of our politics. And if they can behave like this, you ask yourself, what would other people far below them?
Well, we'll definitely be getting Prof to, finish on that. But for those of you that are just joining us and those of you that are wondering, okay, Wale Wale, what's happening in Wale Wale? There's been quite some chaos regarding the NPP primaries that was definitely being conducted there between the two key contestants. And it's quite unfortunate. But yesterday you had security personnel, which was the police and the military, having to step in and carry the ballot boxes away, because from the look of things, and it's not just about yesterday. Earlier, that's the tensions erupted. We had a police officer. He was actually captured, and he was saying, he was warning the supporters that he was going to fire into the crowd because there was a clash between the supporters of both, the two contenders, and it was very disturbing. We're looking at this, and then the key questions on our mind is, this is just the primaries in Wale Wale. What can we do to curb this? Because we're all looking for a peaceful election, and the major election is rather going to take place come December 7th, 2024. We wouldn't want to see issues like this starting at this time. We don't want this. And as Prof was making mention of, this is not how we're supposed to be behaving in this day and age. We have security personnel flagging the place, but people are still saying, no, I'm here to support somebody. It's become more like a do or die affair. And that shouldn't be the case. We're trying to elect people to come into power to be able to direct, to govern, to lead us on a path of development. But the path to doing so is not a bloody path. That is not how we're actually going to attain the development we're looking for. And if we want peace, we definitely do not want a bloodbath. You're still watching ABC in the morning. We'll definitely be bringing you more when we have Prof join us again. But please don't forget, we have an executive interview for you. And today we'll actually be engaging Kodak Technologies on their latest development, which we'll definitely share with you, and you'll definitely get to know. You're going to patronize them, you're going to get something from them. Please stay tuned. You're still watching ABC in the morning. We'll be right back. Well, we have Dr. Odro back on the line. And finally, Doctor, you were talking on the Wale Wale issue before we lost you there.
So, as I indicated, let us condemn them for what they have done. I think it tells us that the level of political maturity of some of our key actors is so below what we should expect of them. And that it's incumbent on the political parties to go ahead to educate their members about our political processes. And people should learn to accept defeat in good faith. Because some people think they have the God-given right to be in certain positions. That is not so. In election, you have to accept the will of the people. You cannot impose yourself on the people. But coming back to our, comparing this to our main election, I think there's a world of difference. And the situations that abound are so different, because in this situation that we are looking at, we have some of the people, for instance, in internal elections, as happened in the election of a member of parliament, or as they call it, the party, the candidates that they are selecting. You realize that the constituency chairman, for instance, who supervises or superintends over the process is also an interested party, because the constituency chairman and their executives who are there who are supposed to be arbiters are also interested parties. They may have their personal choices. In addition to, in the case of the NPP, you have their polling station executives also being part of the process. Various people at different levels being part of the process. So what happened is that the EC, which comes in to play the role of a referee, is also being is having to work with the executives who are doing that. And where the executives fail to do what is expected of them, especially if they fail to show impartiality in such a process, it creates this kind of situation we are seeing. And then some people also think they can use brute force to have their way through. I mean, looking at the whole process, it's such a mess. And it is so unacceptable that it should be condemned. But I think NPP as a political party needs to educate their members. So, I mean, it's interesting that even PNC at their national election were experiencing something close to this. It should tell us there's a failure by those who pretend to be leading the political process in this country as to how they should play the political game. If they don't understand the process, they should back off for those who understand to be part of the process. And once again, let me condemn what has happened. It should never be tolerated in any democracy.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time. That was Dr. Fred Odro. And I mean, the last thing he touched on had to do with the chaos that erupted in Wale Wale over the NPP primaries. We'd actually been engaging him. Earlier, we're looking at the Galamsey issue, and then also we looked at the concerns the NDC had actually raised over some irregularities in the voter register. You're still watching ABC in the morning. We're heading straight for our Happy Hour segment, where we get to bring you, the trivia of the day, the question of the day, and pick your mind on some key, very interesting things to help you just release stress and then, go through the day with a smile on your face.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at abcnewsgh_.
Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 is here. ScanBrain Limited, organizers of the Best Inventor Ghana, has opened registration for the 3rd season of this innovative show. Who can enter? Manufacturers of innovative solutions for daily use. Winner goes home with 5,000 Ghana cedis. First runner-up with 3,000 Ghana cedis. And second runner-up with 2,000 Ghana cedis. The show will be broadcast on ABC News Ghana Television. Best Inventor Ghana Season 3 begins on the 21st of September 2024 at the Assembly Hall of the St. John's Grammar School. Registration is open to everyone. Call us now on 054-955-4148 to register.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing...
Well, what an interesting way to actually sign out. But before we go, let's take this birthday wish for a colleague. So this is coming from Keen Pals, and it says, happy birthday to one of the most amazing people I know. Your kindness, humor, and friendship mean the world to me. Wishing you a day filled with love, laughter, and all the things that bring you joy. Cheers to another year of adventure together. This is actually from Keen Pals, and they're actually wishing you a happy birthday. Don't forget, you can also send your birthday wishes to us. ABC News GH _ on all social media platforms. It's been nothing but insightful, engaging, interesting here on ABC in the morning, and it's been wonderful having you with us throughout the journey since we began in the morning. So please don't forget, go through your day with purpose and make it count. That's the most important thing. Coming up shortly is the midday news, and my name is Epifani Achokutukligui. It's been a pleasure having you here on ABC in the morning. Do stay tuned.